Welcome to the Every Home for Christ Australia and New Zealand audio overview for May 2026. This month's newsletter carries both grief and joy, and that combination is, in many ways, the heartbeat of everything this ministry does. Remembering Dick Eastman. On April 21st, 2026, Dick Eastman passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by his family. He was 81 years old. Dick served Every Home for Christ for 46 years, 34 of them as president. He gave his entire adult life to reaching every home on earth with the gospel, and he did it with consistency, humility, and deep faith. What made Dick extraordinary was his prayer life. He carved out time each day for what he called the gap, a sacred place of solitude with Jesus. He didn't just model prayer, he lived it. He prayed for people by name. If you're receiving this newsletter, there's a real chance Dick prayed for you personally. At EHC Australia's 50th anniversary prayer breakfast in October 2025, Dick sent a special video message expressing his love for the work in Australia. That message is now a treasured final gift available on the EHC Facebook page. Dick Eastman, 1944 to 2026. Well done, good and faithful servant. Asia Pacific Multicultural Churches Conference. On April 15th, EHC hosted the Asia Pacific Multicultural Churches Conference at Revival Church, Penshurst. Leaders from Indonesia, Korea, Pakistan, the Philippines, India, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, and Australia gathered for a full day of worship, teaching, and prayer. Sessions addressed disaster recovery, contextual mission, discipleship, and raising the next generation of leaders. The day closed with a unified vision: to reach every person, in every place, across every generation. Samoa. Water tanks delivered. Those following recent newsletters will remember the appeal for water tanks for a family on Savaii, Samoa. The family of 16 had been surviving on water collected in a single 46-litre bin, for drinking, cooking, washing, everything. When the EHC team arrived to hand over two 5,000-litre tanks, the family hosted a feast with everything they had. The head of the family, tears streaming down his face, said he had never believed he would see a water tank in his village. It was Matthew 22:39 lived out loud. Love your neighbour as yourself. 2 more tanks are still needed for families on Savaii. The team returns to Samoa in July with youth mission volunteers to complete the delivery. Please visit everyhome.org.au to donate to the water tank appeal. A new van for Samoa. Thanks to generous donors, Every Home for Christ has purchased a new van for the Samoan ministry team. Their previous vehicle was aging and unreliable, constantly breaking down on rugged jungle roads and limiting their reach. The new van is already on the road, carrying food, supplies, and the gospel into communities that were previously out of reach. In a remote island setting, a vehicle isn't a luxury. It is the mission, praying with the Prime Minister of Samoa. Greg Bondar was personally invited to meet with Samoa's Prime Minister, La'auli Loatea Schmidt, to discuss the government's commitment to establishing an embassy in Jerusalem. During the meeting, the Prime Minister asked the EHC delegation to pray over him and his government, which they did with great joy. In a nation where 98% of the population identifies as Christian and the Constitution declares Samoa a Christian nation, this was a profound and meaningful moment. Sri Lanka. Hope and celebration. At the Hope Centre in Sri Lanka, children gathered to celebrate the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Dressed in bright colours, they played traditional games and experienced belonging, joy and safety, things many of them rarely feel. Through child sponsorship, children aged 6 to 16 from disadvantaged backgrounds access tuition programs that open pathways to university and a future beyond poverty. As director Noel Abelasan writes, every smile in that room was made possible by someone's faithfulness. Upcoming events. 1 Sydney, Together in Christ, June 14th, sessions at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Book at everyhome.org.au. Youth Mission to Samoa, July 11th to 18th, ages 16 to 25. 9 days of hands-on mission. Spots are limited. Register now. Love Your Neighbour Month, June. Free outreach kits for churches. Register at ehc@everyhome.org.au. Annual Prayer Breakfast, October 22nd, NSW Parliament House, 7 to 9 a.m. Early bird tickets $50 until August 4th. How you can help. Donate to the Samoa Water Tank Appeal. Register for the Youth Mission. Sign your church up for Love Your Neighbour Month. Book your seat at the prayer breakfast. Your support today becomes tomorrow's transformation.